the next question was, okay, so if I'm making a payment, who do I make payment to? He said, I'm making payments to her. And I'm like, hey, come on, who does that? Now, here is it. Like I said, this person is somebody that I trust completely on a normal day. But this is now business. This is business. So if it's business, there are rules. I personally have to obey. There are rules we have to obey. There are ways it should be done. There are certain levels of transparency that are needed. There are certain things that are supposed to be done so that it will be right. So
basically, every video on this channel is an asset to real estate investors and property buyers. Finally, on this channel, every subscriber is family, a family of millionaire real estate investors. Welcome.
hello and welcome. My name is Raymond Ijoma, and today we're going to talk about how we were able to prevent a 1.5 million naira land scam at Fortreal Rei Ltd. Alright, so it's actually a very short story. As a matter of fact, the way it happened was such that I personally would have been the one to be scammed. But of course, there are principles that we share on this YouTube channel that guides every move we make as far as it concerns real estate investment. And upon applying those rules, it was a guarantee that we wouldn't be scammed. Alright, so that's basically what we're going to share in this particular video, and it's important that you watch to the end so that you get all the lessons, and in the story you also get your own lessons, so that when you want to acquire any land, you are careful, you know the right things to do, the right questions to ask, so that issues don't come in. As a matter of fact, don't worry, you will just get the gist, you will get the food. But before we go into the story and detail how it happened to you, I want to quickly remind you that Fortreal Rei Ltd is not a roadside hustle. This is a big time vision that the company has, and it is to become a one-stop shop for real estate in Nigeria, such that everything that concerns real estate in Nigeria, from property acquisition, we are able to help you solve the problems such that you want to acquire a land, we are there for you. You want to secure the land, we are there for you. You want to develop the land, we are there for you. All right, so for instance, right here, property documents of a particular client. There are a number of them like this, but I just wanted to this survey plan came in this morning, and I just wanted to use the opportunity to it just came into my head to just quickly remind us again. Now, when the document came, I realized that first I need to say that most of our clients are not resident in Nigeria. I mean, they are not within our location. All right, and what happens is that right in the comfort of wherever they are, we are getting the job done here. So for instance, we helped to search for the property, we helped to the documentation was through us. I mean, documentation for the land was through us. Surveying is through, and he's right in his comfort of his house or the country wherever he is, and the job is being done. So the vision or the goal of what we have in mind, the global vision is such that we have millions of clients who are out there who for some reasons cannot be physically present to handle their land transactions, or do not have the time to handle the land transactions, or don't know how the land transactions work, and don't want to be stressed by it. So that is our client base. That is what we're looking at. So basically, we want to be that company that you want to reach out to when you're having any issues related to real estate. Our legal department is there to handle legal activities. Our property development department is there to handle your building projects. Matter of fact, the head of that department has over 15 years experience in building and construction, including bridges and roads. Right. So basically, what we're trying to say before we go into the story is that this is a big vision for us, and we know that some of you have trust issues. We want to crave your indulgence to give us the benefit of that, because as a matter of fact, this vision is big for us, and we are committed to making it happen All right, thank you. So back to the story. So basically, this client wanted to acquire property, and we took the client for inspection. On getting there, client loved the place. I personally loved the location. The transaction was with someone that I had some form of idea of his reputation. So initially, basically, it was easy to say, okay, it's okay to do a land transaction with this person on basis of trust. And so we proceeded on making inquiry. So the client was delaying at the point. So I was like, okay, why not we just buy this property ourselves, and then so that it doesn't go, because it was said to be a distress sale. And I was like, okay, why not we just buy this property ourselves, and then when the client is ready, we can now directly sell to the client. And then we made a move on that. Upon reaching out, somebody was saying something that didn't add up. So first, you told me that this land belongs to this person, and next, upon making a move to make payment, you're telling me that, hey, no, it actually belongs to this person's client. And okay, I insisted on reaching out to the person that you are seeing is his direct client. And I reached out, reaching out, different story. The person told the trust narrative, and I told him that I trust you as a person, right? But I need to be clear of certain things before I make a move on any land transaction. And she was like, you know me, I will not do anything one to one. And I told her that, okay, no problem. Let's even give you that benefit. So that I will go further and see whether, because I realized that at some point it doesn't check out 100%, but there are certain percentages mean it can get to 90%. It can check on 90% basis, and you possibly will be good to go, right? So I decided to step a bit further. Okay, so let's step forward from that. And so where's the owner? We want to meet with the owner, and so we'll prepare the title document. Before the title document is prepared by the legal department, and so that would meet up with the owner so that he would sign and all. And she was like, no, that you won't have to, that there's no need to see the landowner, that the title document will be prepared, and one of her boys or one of their person would forward the document, to take the document to the office of the owner to sign. And I'm like, hey, I don't get. You want to buy a land, and you don't. There's no. You won't have to see the owner, the person selling the land. And the next question was, okay, so if I'm making a payment, who do I make payment to? You said I'm making payment to her, and I'm like, hey, come on, who does that? Now, here is it. Like I said, this person is somebody that I trust completely on a normal day. But this is now business. This is business. So if it's business, there are rules I personally have to obey. There are rules we have to obey. There are ways it should be done. There are certain levels of transparency that are needed. There are certain things that are supposed to be done so that it will be right. So that in case 20 years time somebody reaches out and says, how was this transaction done? You could easily tell a story of how it was done, and somebody won't say, oh, okay, So what I'm driving at is, there was, on personal basis, a feeling that this is good, but as it came to business, something had to be done the way it should be done. So at that point, I said, oh, okay, no problem, I'll get back to you. And since then, I had never gotten back to the person, and she's never gotten back to me, and that was it. We simply told the client that the property is no longer available for sale, and that's it. We wouldn't want to appreciate any situation where the client is asking a question and we are not confident enough to answer the question, because transparency is key in every land transaction. If somebody's trying to, that is one of the reasons we try as much as possible to avoid agents in between, some agents in between, because a number of them are very invasive. All right, so basically that's the story. All right, so it was even recently we discovered one of these qualities that we have that has helped in the business. It was even a client who is not even resident in Nigeria that observed it. So he felt this positivity around us, right? So he was specifically reaching out so that a number of hectares of land, 3 hectares at least, would be acquired for his company somewhere outside of Benin City. And in the course of giving him feedback as per offline investigation, I wasn't sounding particularly positive, and he said he felt concerned, and I told him that for every land transaction, positivity is not one that I bring in. I want to look out for the negativities around it. I want to be as negative as possible, so that when the bosses are checking for me, I now have peace. I now feel positive about the transaction. So I don't go into the transaction feeling positive and excited already, and that can blow my view, that can blow my logical explanation of certain things. So I rather go in with some form of negativity, so that by the time I am experiencing or we're experiencing the things that are happening in the field of the transaction, it now brings in some form of positivity, excitement, and the reason to buy. Okay, so basically that's the story, and this is absolutely brought to you by Fortreal Rei Ltd. We are the one-stop shop that you want to reach out to for real estate in Nigeria. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, do to subscribe and stay in touch.